Okay, traders, today is frustrating. Very frustrating. The whole week, I've been coming out with some different types of videos. Just, some more educational. Oh my gosh, look at I right now. So I'm going to talk about I. Ticker I. Took an L on it today. Took a W on it yesterday. But I've been doing some more like educational stuff. I just want to mix it up some. If I don't post like a live trade, I usually will post them on Twitter for the guys who just want to see the trade I took. But I feel like it was just becoming like same old, like buy fear, sell euphoria. That's kind of what I do every day. So I want to come out with some more things that are going to be educational. Yesterday on yesterday, this is the trade I took on I. So I'll cover up the chart today right now, but what I had done was just scoop the fear on up. I planned for multiple entries on this to get up to full position size, and really wanted that too, because I didn't want to. I hate bottom ticking a stock with like a quarter or a fifth of my position size. You just doesn't allow for the maximum profit potential on it. So I got the 3 ads here. Started taking some profits, locked in quarter, locked in half, re-added to it actually on a pullback, then locked in the rest of that up towards the VWAP. VWAP oftentimes serves as resistance on some of these stocks that you see just panicking out of the gates, and they'll pop up on the intensity scanners that I use, and I'll usually start with a starter position and then build into it. And VWAP usually, it's tough. Today, it just actually broke VWAP. It's 1020 now. So we'll go over that here shortly. But I definitely want to make sure I locked in the majority of the shares near the VWAP. And what happened here, this final exit here yesterday, that was at my average price. My average price was 1660s after these 4 ads here. The 3 then took partial, then re-added. My average was like 1660. So I wanted to make sure that became my stop, essentially. My stop was at my average price, just to guarantee, I'm green on that trade. And then I wanted to restart it again. So I did restart it, and then just, took money on the way up towards that VWAP again. So I buy fear under the VWAP and then sell it up into the VWAP and over. Now, today, I just traded it poorly. I mean, it worked out today, and I took an L on it. I didn't lose as much as I made yesterday. I'll show you guys P&L. I don't show P&L very, very often, but I only lost $37 today on this stock. So I managed the risk well, and that's part of the video I want to do today is talk about risk a little bit. Just because when you're trading into these emotional sides of the move, sometimes it's easy to go deer in headlights, and then you're like, well, I don't know what to do, and then you just don't do anything. You freeze up. And then you end up risking more than you intended to, and we don't want that to happen. Absolutely don't want that to happen. So let's talk about today's trade, which was the loser, and very upset about this one right now because it would be a huge winner. But it is what it is. So I did start this one on the panic. It opened up at 1450, and the last 3 days I'll show you guys what I've been looking at. This thing's been panicking all from like $24. Huge red day. So I'm like, man, I got to take advantage of this. Like a 19 on the RSI. Definitely wanted to take advantage here. So I ended up starting it. Small position, just starter here. And added to it. I didn't like how heavy it was. I noticed the price action was really, really heavy at the time. So I thought, okay, there's still more room on this one to fall. Let me just go ahead and recycle some shares out at least. Probably should have taken all of them right there, honestly. But on this red triangle here, I just locked in half. So I recycled some shares out because normally, guys, I do 3 ads to it. So if I'm going 1,000 shares, for instance, I'll go 250, 250, 500. And right here, what I did was I just locked in. I had the 2 ads, but then locked in half just to recycle some, reduce the risk a little bit because, for one, these are way too close to each other anyways. I mean, looking back at this in hindsight, I should have had one here, and one down here. Some of these larger price stocks, I cannot add when it drops like another 10 cents. I got to give it some room to drop more on me. That because when I add so close to each other as well, knowing okay, I'm at full position size now, like really fast, then I'm going to stop out, more prematurely instead of giving it a little bit more room, more time to work, because longs do take longer. So I reduced risk right there, and then I started re-adding into it. And then this is where I stopped out, this red triangle here. And this all happened way too fast. I mean, it's working very well right now, and you guys know I trade this every single day, so it is irritating, because this would have been a really nice winner here. But, you got to stay positive, because the thing is, with these trades, you just need to know that you're managing risk well. It's very easy to, let your risk get out of hand. Very easy to let that happen just because, this is a high probability setup, so you want to just keep adding. Well, you don't. You got to have the discipline not to. You have to have the discipline to press the sell button, because this isn't going to happen every single time. It's not going to always bounce from 1120 up to 1270 like this. Now I trade this every day essentially. I mean, you guys see this. Buying the fear, it works a lot of the times, and straight off the scanners. I'm over 90% consistent with it. I'm fearful of taking a big loss, I think is what it is, which is a good thing. That is a good thing. But sometimes that fear will keep me from, allowing a stock to work for me more. But you'd have to have a max risk. So I do have a max risk. $37 is not my max risk. But I didn't want to give I back everything I made yesterday. So that's another emotion that went into it. But really, these are all very close together. This is all very, very close together. That was the problem here. I managed the risk well, starting it at 1240, coming down to 1125 and only losing $37. I'll take that. I'll take that, just because I was recycling shares out. I was, getting my average down. That's the 112. That's why, your last, full position, when you get to full position, that last entry makes a lot bigger to get your average down even more. I started it twice. This one was like a scratch trade down here. This was my cut. This one down here, I wanted to go one more time at it. I do have a rule, 2 losses per trade, per ticker. I'm done with it if I take 2 losses. I was just emotional on this trade right here. Obviously, that worked out. After I took the L, just didn't want to lose any more money on it. That was the problem there. So, emotions on this one, starting a little early. The problem was just not spreading them out far enough. And the lesson on today is just understand your risk. I'm happy with that. I mean, this obviously would have worked out, but I'm happy with my risk. Happy that I stopped out, because not every time it's going to turn back around and work like that. But yes, it is annoying. It is annoying taking an L when, it would have worked. You just traded it poorly. The ads were so close together. That was the problem there. But traders, that's going to wrap up the video. The rest of the week I've actually been trading pretty well. Just been coming out with some more like educational content. Mix it up a little bit. Hope you guys learned something though. Hope you learned something. I mean, not everybody trades this strategy, but everybody does need risk. Everybody does need to manage risk. Stay disciplined. If you plan for more than one entry, you do need to probably spread them apart. So there's certain things to learn. Everybody trades a little different. So that's okay. Hope you guys learned something from the video. Hit that like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button. We'll see you all first thing tomorrow.